Alright, time for the big video. With no release date for when Bravely 3rd will be dropping, it is about time for me to make some guesses as to what I think we can expect to see in Bravely 3rd. Then when it comes out, we can all come back to this video and see what I got right and wrong. I shouldn't have to say spoilers for the first two games, I really shouldn't, but people get pissy when you don't, so there's your warning. Let's start with the most obvious thing people argue about first. Who are we going to play as? Who's going to be on the party? Well, I have a strong gut feeling that Ring-a-Bell will be a playable member this time around. His ties to the ending of Bravely 2nd strongly suggest he will be of importance in this next game, and since he wasn't around much for 2nd, I think it's safe to say he'll be playable, along with the fact that they kinda tried to keep consistency by bringing back old characters, so yeah. As for the other three, I think we'll be seeing three brand new characters, one of which we, the Celestial Beings, will be following, naturally. No real ideas on these new characters or their personalities, we'll just see where it goes. They haven't really done the hesitant to join rival-like attitude for any party members yet, so we might have that. Jam was the closest we had to that so far, but he wasn't actually part of the team. Maybe he will be now? He is fairly young after all, so he could still fit on the team. I also got a hunch that our main character will be female, so we'll see about that. Got a 50-50 shot on that one. While we're at it, what is everyone else going to be doing? Well, we're going to run into Tiz and Anyez, living happily in their own day. We're going to pay them a visit. I doubt Tiz will be a part of the party anymore due to how he and Anyez are finally living together. But it may be possible that he'll stay as a continuing main character to maintain a consistency throughout the games forever. I don't know. We'll see. Idia is also going to make an appearance, for reasons I'll get into in a bit, as the Grand Marshal of Eternia. She may also be the new Templar Asterisk holder, since she is the new Grand Marshal, as Brave seems to have stepped down. Let's talk about you and Magnolia next. These two are more than likely to be making an appearance due to the necessities that I think they will both present. For Magnolia, she has her connections with Fort Loon, making her liable to be the reason our new party will get to the moon. Although she did kind of send off her ship. She still has her trans-communicator thing. Nonetheless, I think it's unlikely Magnolia will return as a playable character, but Appleberry may call on her to join the Dimensional Bureau or something, so who knows. As for you, he is one of my three suspects behind who our guide character will be, like Aerie was in default and Anyez in second. The two of them will be in our campus, you and Magnolia in this case, possibly, as you will likely have continued his pursuit of being a scholar, or he has completed his studies and is now living with Magnolia in Gathlashio. His brains as a study man would make him quite suitable as the new guide, and it would be nice to see him again. While on the topic of guides, the other two people I feel could be guides are Ring-a-Bell and Vice President Appleberry. If Ring-a-Bell isn't a party member and we instead get an entirely new crew to work with, having one of these two being our guide would make a lot of sense, seeing as how the new game will be dealing with the Dimensional Bureau. Oh yeah, and Yoko will return. Betting money on that right now. Next predictions are about the plot. I'm honestly getting a lot of these just from Bravely 2nd, as they're implied, but, we still gotta talk about it. There's going to be two main parts to the story. The natural Luxendark world story, like the plot with the Glan's Empire, will involve another war or some sort, this time with a rebel faction uprising against the peace treaty between the Orthodoxy and the Duchy of Eternia. I'm not really sure the rebellion's reasoning, but it may have to do with the Orthodoxy's past sins upon the world, and thinking they don't deserve the right to a peace treaty. That would be my best guess. The secondary plot will involve the Dimensional Bureau, like with Providence and the Balls in 2nd. There will of course be another Dark God to kill, same as the last two, but what I want to see is them to build on it over the course of the plot line, not be thrown in at the last minute. I also believe there will be two general worlds that the story will take place on, fairly evenly, that you get to play around in. One will be Luxendark, but for the Dimensional Bureau story, we will leave that world behind for another strange one. Only ideas I have on what the other world would be like is some weird and twisty, between dimensions area or an alternate dimension. I don't exactly know. The moon, or Fort Loon to be specific, will also likely be a candidate, as that seems to be where Appleberry's stationed, so, we might go there. Probably. Now for timing. In my last video, I went on about how the timeline might end up in one of two ways. Either immediately after the events of second due to some event, or it will coincide with the time that passes in the real world until the game comes out. I think I can finally say that this game should be taking place relatively closer to the ending of second rather than waiting so many years. It wouldn't make sense to wait 5 years or more for Ringabel to finally go after the Sword of the Brave if it's the third key, nor would dealing with a rebel force be put off for so long. How about jobs? Well, I expect we're either going to see a lot more new jobs or only a few returning original jobs, but the asterisk holders are going to be new people. There still has yet to be an actual set Blue Mage class. Vampire and Catmancer are basically the same thing, but not the name, so that make an appearance instead. I feel like a future telling class might be in order to appear, like an Oracle or something, where you get bonuses based on predicting enemy actions. That'd be kind of cool. I imagine a lot of the Gland's Empire is going to reappear, like how the Eternian leaders did in second, just living their normal lives or something, but then they interrupt and then they want to fight. Either way, I'm hoping and thinking that we're going to see a lot of newer jobs in the game, even if they're just renamed versions of old jobs. Alright, how about the theme of the game? The first game was multiple worlds, the second was about time travel. So this was going to be about alternate dimensions, I'm guessing, based on the whole Dimensional Bureau thing going on. For the final boss, I just have this gut feeling telling me that the background is going to like static in and out between multiple dimensions. One of them turning the 3DS camera on and revealing our world, because you got to get that celestial being stuff in. And that the boss will have different health bars in each of these dimensions. So you'll be like doing multiple fights at once, which would be kind of cool. So like in one realm you might be fighting him and he might have knocked out you, but if it switches he might be back up and somebody else might be dead, just depending on where that fight's happening. And then like, you have to defeat all of them at the same time. Like that would be a difficult fight. It would be much better than Providence ever was, to be honest. Because Providence was a real letdown. It was too easy. The use of the 3DS microphone might also be a new possibility. Maybe we'll like shout at the party and get them riled up, ready to fight. That would be kind of cool. Now let's talk about balls. In Bravely Default, the Nemesis bosses that spawned in Norende turned out to be the bosses for second Celestial plot with Providence. There were also the Sim Beasts that you could fight in order to unlock the Yokai class. Now let's look at Bravely Second. The balls return to this game in Fort Loon. Every ball is representative of one of Vega's memories gone wrong, and all of them were revealed by Altair as to what they really were. All of them, except for one. Firstborn is the only Nemesis boss in second that does not have an explanation behind the memory it's connected to. Even Diamante does. You can figure it out for yourself. Diamante is the promise with the ring before Altair took off and she died. It also doesn't have a ball designation number. Every other ball has one. Diamante I don't think does, but that is the original ball. So these two are very special in that sense. Now I've heard people say that Firstborn is the memory of Vega and Altair's unborn child that either died or was never born because of Providence's meddling. But what about this? What if this is another sneak peek at the next game? Just like in Default. I think that Firstborn is representing the celestial being that's going to help our party in the next game, like how Altair interfered and helped out in second. And I think this is going to be Vega and Altair's child. I'm also going to say this one's going to be a girl. I think that's very likely in this case. What about the other keys, though, that are mentioned? I say there's 3 keys. Sword of the Brave is apparently the third, but I don't have strong ideas as to what the other 2 are. I'm not thinking that it's going to be like an obvious, like a sword or a weapon of some kind. Like, they're just items of mass importance. So if I'm going to take a guess, I would say the first is Agnes's pendant, and the SP Hourglass is the second. Those are my best guesses that I've got. I'm not sure about the space-time compass. I suppose it's possible that it's a key, but it was built by Altair and Vega, while the other 2 of those just kind of are mystical and they just seem to exist, more or less. That's my reasoning behind that. The subtitle puzzle, probably going to be an anagram. Gameplay, the same, because they found a formula that works well, so they should stick to it. Theme song that plays like an anime at the beginning of each chapter? Yes, please. That was my favorite things about Bravely Second. It was a lot of fun having that. I really liked it. Side minigame? Sure, why not? Just don't make it necessary to the game. Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance tried to do that on the DS. I did not want to play Tamagotchi. I wanted to beat monsters over the head with a giant key. Just don't do that to me. Give America a figurine with the collector's edition this time? They better. Just don't repeat a Save the Crystals plot, please. But that's all I got for now, though. Might make another video if I can think of anything else. If you guys have any questions or points that are notable of making a video for. But all your guys' comments are wonderful anyway. I read everything. Leave your comments, though, on what you think of my theory so far. Share your own, share the video, argue about it with friends, you know, fun stuff like that. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.